If you've taken a recent trip to your local grocery store or retail store, you may have noticed some sparse or even empty shelves. Things like toilet paper, cleaning supplies, appliances, smartphones, toys, all are running low due to issues with the supply chain. As a result, companies are taking measures to avoid running out of their products. Consumers are also feeling it in their wallets, seeing higher prices on many goods. For more on all of this, I want to bring in David Lynch. He's a global economics correspondent for The Washington Post. David, help us understand what's going on here. A lot of these issues obviously can be traced back to the coronavirus pandemic, but explain for us how people's change in buying habits and what they were buying has also contributed to this ongoing problem.
Sure. Well, it's as simple as the story of the pandemic. If you think back over the last year and a half, we were all forced out of our normal routines, forced to go into our homes. Many of us work from home for months at a time. So instead of spending money at restaurants and ball games, movie theaters, we started buying a lot more stuff than we normally would. Laptops, iPhones, furniture for the house to make the work from home situation a little more congenial. And all that began to throw the system out of whack. The supply chain sounds very simple. It's really just about moving stuff from point A to point B, but it's really a very highly synchronized system that has to work like runners in a relay. And if one part of the system goes to hand off the baton and the next link in the chain, to mix metaphors, is not there to do its part, then the system grinds to a halt.
Well, as you boiled it down, moving things really from point A to point B, that's a transportation system that you've reported has been exposed for the weaknesses that actually exist there. Tell us more about that.
Sure. Well, you know, the original sin in this is the pandemic and is the shift in buying habits. But the stress that's put on the system, essentially forcing it to operate at peak levels month after month after month, has exposed some weaknesses. It's exposed some problems, some failures of investment. We probably haven't spent enough to upgrade our ports to make them state-of-the-art and allow them to sort of flex with the greater demand. There have been controversial labor policies by some of the major railroads that's left them vulnerable to problems, some critics and regulators would say. And there's a pervasive failure to share information, to share data among all the players in the supply chain. We're not doing it the way that the best ports, for instance, in Europe do, where everybody who's involved with the arrival of a vessel with thousands, tens of thousands of shipping containers, all has the same information, all knows what equipment is needed in what place at what time to unload that boat and get the containers to their final destinations. So we've got a lot of work to do.
David, I'm really glad that you brought up ports, in particular because dozens of ships are waiting, and they've been waiting for weeks to dock and unload their cargo outside of ports in Southern California. That's one of the reasons why there are delivery delays. Tell us more about what led to this logjam in the first place, and how does it get fixed?
Yeah, it's really remarkable. If you go back before the pandemic in normal times, you didn't have anything like this. Today, there's something like 60, 65, maybe 70 of these massive container ships just at anchor in San Pedro Bay off the coast of Southern California. And it's really just an extraordinary situation, and it's like a traffic jam out on the water. The ships are designed to come right into port, be unloaded in the matter of a day, and then turn around and get back to Asia for another load of cargo. And instead, they're sitting there at anchor. Some of them wait for up to 2 weeks with the crew just going through normal maintenance, sitting, offshore, not being able to deliver the cargo. And that's sort of one symptom of an entirely disrupted chain. The ships can't get a place at the port because the terminals are too congested, and the truckers can't come in to get the cargo from the last ship. So it's all a series of dysfunctions that ripple across the entire system like a row of dominoes tumbling.
How much is labor shortage fueling these delivery issues and supply issues?
Well, you hear about that particularly from the truckers and from the warehouses. Like many industries, they say they're having trouble hiring people for the wages they want to pay. And, trucking is a tough job. The trucking companies say they can't get young men and women interested in the position. The average age of a trucker, I think, is something like 50. And so, we're not really growing the next generation of truckers. Some of it, they're discouraged from going into that line of work by a lot of talk about automated trucks that are coming down the line. And you also see, the truckers, the short haul truckers, for instance, who have to pick up loads from the rail yards just outside of Chicago, which is the main distribution hub. Because of congestion and crowding at those rail yards, they can't make as many trips in one day as they normally would. So they're making a lot less money than is customarily the case. And that's a further disincentive for new people to come into the job.
Well, and as you explained it before, the domino effects of this are far-reaching, potentially long-lasting. David, any sense of when the system's going to right itself?
Well, you can imagine you get different opinions on this from various analysts and various participants in the supply chain. But it seems, based on all the reporting we did for the major project we published today, that these supply disruptions, which, again, were initially only expected to last for perhaps 3, maybe 6 months when this all started last year, may now last all the way through next year. Certainly, the holiday season is going to be tough, I think, for consumers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that store shelves are going to be completely barren, but certainly, if there's a particular product or gift or good that you want to get in a particular color or particular size, you're probably better off starting to look for that now rather than waiting to the last minute. It also makes this situation very difficult for the Biden administration to do much about. Federal Reserve Chairman Powell said yesterday this is really one of the key factors pushing inflation higher and likely to maintain inflation for some period of time now. But trying to fix this is not easy. There's no obvious short-term solutions.
All right. David Lynch, I've been wondering about all of these things for a while. Really appreciate you joining me.